Hello, I'm Dr. Lynn Randall at Northwest Pet Hospital, and I just wanted to tell you that I've been using Austin Dog Zone for about the last year for our puppy classes and our obedience classes, and our clients and our puppies have really seemed to like them.
I decided to go with Caitlin because I heard her talking in the dog park, and she talked about how she likes positive behavior. You know, she doesn't like the hitting dogs or doing anything like that. So I really like the positive behavior aspect. And she's also got a positive behavior training for adults too, because what I do is I watch her, and watching her helps me with my dogs. And so while I'm watching her, Caitlin seems to really know what the dog's thinking, and she's really patient, so that she's kind of working at their level. So she could really work with any dog, you know, whether it's real high strung or real mellow, because she kind of sets the tone based on the dog, which is something that I really, really like about her. And, you know, she was able to get my dogs to go sit in water at a pool, and, you know, just amazing, amazing things. I've never met anyone who can work with every dog. I mean, there are dogs here, and another thing about her is that she's, you know, willing to tell people stuff just at the park. You know, she's not real possessive about her knowledge. She's like, well, you know, try this or that, and it's just really, really nice overall to work with her. Not just as a trainer, but as, you know, just a friend and a person to see at the park. Another thing about Caitlin is, I hear some people say that they're afraid to have their dog in training because they're afraid that their dog's an extension of themselves, and that they'll be judged for their dog. Or if, say, you're supposed to work on sitting during the week and you haven't had a chance. Caitlin is very easygoing about it. She never judges people by their dog, and she believes every dog can be helped and every person can be helped to train their dog. And she understands when you have a busy life and you aren't training as much as you should. So that's another thing that's really good about her training, is I never ever feel guilty, and I'm never ever afraid to say, well, you know, this happened or that happened, because she's always, you know, has a good idea to work something out for you.
Hi, this is Rick Chapman, my wife Robin, and this is Buddy. He's a recent rescue for us. We've had him for a couple of months now. He's a big, strong guy, so we thought some professional training would help bring out his potential. And we were lucky to find Austin Dog Zone, and been working with them 3 weeks.
Yeah, about that, maybe a little longer.
And he's shown marked improvement in his sits, downs, stays, comes. He's still working on a few things, but he's really got a good attitude, and the training techniques seem to be working very well with him, very gentle.
Yeah, we're really happy with the training techniques. I trained some dogs many years ago, 25, 30 years ago. I took some classes, some obedience classes, and this is so much different, so much nicer than the methods that they used a long time ago. We're really enjoying it, and the dog is too. It shows that the dog is much happier.
Okay, one of the special advantages we found with Austin Dog Zone is helping us to socialize Buddy, because he had lived in somewhat isolation, not around other dogs. And Maggie and Rosie, a couple of the dogs from Austin Dog Zone, came out, and he learned to get along with them, play nicely with them, and enjoy himself as a dog.
Yeah, they were very well trained, and we weren't concerned that we'd have any problems because they were so well trained. And that was comforting to know. You might be worried when someone would come in with a strange dog in a situation like this with a big dog like Buddy, and we didn't know what he was going to do. But we were very confident that everything would be okay because Rosie and Maggie were so well trained.
Hello, my name is Craig Pearson. We got Caitlin to help us train our 3 rambunctious dogs. She's been working with Champ a lot. This is Layla. She's full of energy. Champ was aggressive towards other dogs and people, and since we've been working with him, Caitlin's working with Champ for about 3 weeks, every weekend, and we've been supplementing her training throughout the week, and we've seen a drastic improvement. I would say maybe 75% improvement in Champ's behavior towards people and other dogs. The anxiety is still there, but he's redirecting it in another direction. So the training is definitely doing an excellent job.
Okay, well this boy ranger here came to me from English Springer Spaniel Rescue with bad ears. The first couple trips to the vet were okay. He tolerated that okay, although, as they said, fractious. But slowly but surely it got worse until he actually bit the vet one time. Not badly, no blood, but he did bite her. So since then he has had to be sedated anytime he goes to the vet because, of course, we don't want any more of that going on and we don't want him stressed out so much. And the issue was his ears, getting medicine into his ears and being able to check his ears. So there was a thing on the counter at the vet for Caitlin Lane being a trainer, and I said, well, does Caitlin do private lessons? And they said yes. So I called her, and she came over, and if you could see how a ranger reacts to her, you would not be surprised that we had some really success with Caitlin. She worked with him until we were able to get some medicine in his ears, and it took a while. He gave a lot of lip curl there for a while and back away, but she was very patient, worked with him very slowly, a lot of treats and affection, and we achieved success. I wasn't quite as successful as she was, so instead of using the bottle that had a smelly, or the medicine that has a distinct smell to it, I am using cotton balls with some medicine that does not smell, but I get medicine in his ears every day. Once in a great while, he tells me he doesn't want to do that right now, but since he doesn't get his treat, he comes back later and is quite willing to do the ears. And we have a great big celebration when we get done with lots of good treats for both dogs, because Gilly has, thanks to Caitlin and her learning, I learned so much from her, that Gilly, who used to bark through this whole process, now is encouraged to sit and be quiet while I do this, and then we all run into the kitchen and get treats. And I couldn't be happier. I also use Caitlin's 1, 2, 3 method for cleaning his chops. He has drool that collect here in his chops, and that they get a little icky too. So I have pads that I'm supposed to clean his chops, and he doesn't really like that very well. So we use the 1, 2, 3 and the treat method for that, and that's successful too. So we have just had a lot of success, and what's more, we enjoyed it immensely. And I find myself thinking much more about ways to get things done that are fun, and what I can do to make them want to do this. And so it's kind of changed my whole thinking. I'm not very far yet, but I'm farther than I was, and I am thinking about it more, and I like that better too.
This is our first time to have a dog in over 20 years. We are Siamese cat people, so we don't know what we're doing. And I really wish that I had met Caitlin right from the beginning, because we took her for a puppy class somewhere else, and at the same time I was reading 2 books, and one of our vets had recommended that I look into a lady named Dr. Sophia Yin, and so I had to go all over town to get How to Behave So Your Dog Behaves. And another book I was reading was Paul Owens, and so as I was going through the other training, I started realizing that even though I'd never trained a dog before, my gut instincts were I wasn't comfortable with this. And I think if you start on a particular device, I mean, there's some things you're always going to need, like a leash, and that sort of thing, but if you start on devices that hurt dogs, like shock collars and the prong collars, which I call the medieval torture device, and things like that, then you're going to be dependent on that, and you're going to have to keep amping up the pain to get them to behave. And so we finished that class, and we're still having some issues, and we're still working on. We have to be trained as much as she does. But I felt was just so grateful that somebody recommended Caitlin, because everything that I've read in those 2 books that's her philosophy. There's a lot of information out there that's wrong, and I'm still learning a lot of it. And also, Caitlin's not just good with the 4-legged clients, she's good with the 2-legged clients, because you do have to be redirected and corrected, but you don't want to be humiliated or made fun of or feel like an idiot, and she's really awesome at that. I can be realizing that I just did everything wrong in class and what I need to do next, and I don't feel embarrassed or bad. She just kind of, I didn't get a dog biscuit, but she leads you on to what you need to do next, and that's a real skill. There's some people that really can't relate to people like that, and they have to always be like, I'm better than you and I know all this, and they can't impart their wisdom in a friendly way, and she doesn't have that problem. The mindset that one always has to be the winner and the dog always has to lose. I think you want to learn to lead and to have some structure, but it doesn't have to be, what am I trying to say? It doesn't have to be where you don't love each other or respect each other or have fun or have trust. And we've had some issues with our dog, and our dog loves Caitlin.
No.
And so we've had a private session, and she trained our dog to do stuff in one afternoon. It was really fun to watch, and she was really scared to get her nails clipped. And so after that one session, she loved the clippers, and she started carrying them around in her mouth. It was so cute. We're in the basic obedience class, and we're going to have some more private sessions too. And I just feel really hopeful because I know who I want to work with now, and it's Caitlin Lane.